pickinglessons.com. Whiskey Before Breakfast. This is a fantastic tune. This melodic banjo arrangement is really beginner friendly. So we're stripping back the melodies, so it's a slightly more straightforward take on the melody, which then does lend itself to being more accessible on this melodic banjo style of playing. We're in the key of D and there are two parts, but we're in standard tuning. In a moment, we're going to take a look at part A of the arrangement here. But if you head over to pickinglessons.com, you can grab yourself a copy of the tab. In the member section, they will continue the lesson and break down part B. And you'll also have some play along and backing tracks there once you do get to know the tune. Key of D, but open G tuning. That's the first thing. So we get to stay in the standard G tuning. And there's a little bit of movement through in different positions, but it's somewhat repetitive in those positions as well. And we're stripping back the phrasing of the melody so that it's not overly complicated. So you hear variations of these trad tunes that are played in a bunch of different ways. We're taking the essence of the melody in this arrangement and stripping it out so it is easier to play. There's a bit more space within the rhythm and the passages aren't overly complicated, so it's quite straightforward. Let's have a bit of a look at what's happening here in the first couple of measures. Our first position, we're working out this melodic scale position essentially. And what we get in this scale, so it's just the D major scale, or part of, and what we get is this movement out of the second finger on fret 5 and first finger on fret 4, then we shift that hand position up so we end up on fret 10 and fret 9. And so it's the same finger position. And as we do shift, we've got the open 5th string to help us get through. So as we play this first passage, I'm going to move both fingers together. So we've got this second finger, open D to kick it off. So the fingering just as we go, middle and thumb, middle and thumb. There's our first two beats. 1 and 2 and then we shift, leaving both fingers on the strings. Just move up to fret 10, using the index finger there to play that quarter note 10th fret. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. One more time, ready and. So the first thing is straight up, be comfortable with these two positions. So just the two fingers and we're shifting from 5 and 4 to 10 and 9. Once we're there in measure 2, we stay there and we play a bit of a roll. Index, middle, index, thumb in that position. Once we play that 5th string, we're going to be on the move back to fret 5 and 4 to finish the melody there. So out of fret 10, fret 9, open G with the thumb, middle, thumb, middle. Fingering's all in the tablature. If you haven't played any melodic, certainly keep an eye on those fingers. It's pretty standard, the approach we're using here. All right, let's put the first two bars together just to get that opening phrase happening. So ready and. Go. Moving into measure 3. Measure 3, we've got a position up here we're going to work out of, and we're also going to bar the 7th fret with our first finger. So firstly, we have that open G and the B melody note there on fret 9. So thumb, middle and thumb, using third finger, because now we can go to first finger. First finger is going to bar across, well, the 2 strings, but the 3 strings is fine. And we can just use that first finger there, and that will help what's happening next for our fingering. So 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. Keeping that first finger there, bring in third finger on fret 9 string 3. For that next little part of measure 4. 1, 2 and 3, thumb, thumb, index, thumb, open D, C sharp there, 6th fret. You can use your second finger for that one. First finger, either way. Let's put together the first 4 bars. Ready and. There we go. Stop and practice it up, making sure you're comfortable with where the left hand needs to be, the barring position. Do keep an eye on the fingering. There's certainly different ways you could perhaps go about some of the finger choices, but I think that's a nice straightforward way of going about it in the tablature. Second half of this A section is somewhat the same. Just measure 8 that's different actually, so just to close out that melody before the repeat. So we're in this position after that 7th fret bar, and we have that 3rd finger on fret 9 again, the E, 1, open D, and 2, and 3. 6, 5 with the 2nd and 1st fingers. And then we do play around part A twice, so you do want to repeat that once you get to know it. Consolidate left hand position, make sure you're comfortable with your finger choice in the right hand. Lots of space in the melody for the rhythm, which is going to make it easier to play. And like I said, we are doing a more straightforward take of the melody, still capturing the essence of the tune though, in this melodic style. So let's have a bit of a play through these 8 bars just to finish off. We'll go once through, but do repeat it when you practice. From the top, ready, and... Lovely tune, and it works great in this melodic style in the banjo, and these positions we're working out of are really quite accessible with a bit of practice. Pickandlessons.com, you can grab the tablature there, but in the member section we will continue this lesson and we'll break down how to approach part B. We'll also have a play along and backing track there once you do get to know it as well. So pickandlessons.com, I'll see you there.